He mentored us with love and discipline. Scholars recount Falola's impact at 73. Daily Trust is next now. And why Obi may not get EDC presidential ticket, Dati. Court orders ex-AGF Malami's 57 asset forfeiture. Nigeria can earn $10 billion annually from cashew. Multiple budgets. We have not breached any law. That's from the federal government. 38 die in electricity-related incidents in 3 months. And Wiki describes Fubara as a bad child. News Telegraph is next now. 8 trillion naira NNPCL debt cancellation exposes Tinubu's financial recklessness. That's coming from Peter Obi. Tinubu celebrates Issa Aremo Onilo. And Muftuang APC chairman launch e-registration. Wike blows hot, says Fubara sacked 10,000 youths are employed. Obasanjo reveals how labor reforms ended foreign grips on unions. And Diri directs health check on cabinet members. Alright, we move on to pen pushing now. Ogun State. And finally on pen pushing, police summons Adetons over alleged defamatory statement against Governor Abiodun. Alright, we'll take a short break now. When we return, we will go straight into the second half of the show where we look at some of the stories in details. It's the Super Citizen newspaper review on Citizen 93.7 FM. Abuja. Please don't go away. The program returns in a moment.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. Area by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life. Hello, Abuja. You are...
Wake up, Abuja. Rise and shine. Get ready to start your day on Sunrise at Citizen. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7. Join us from 5 a.m. to 12 noon as we bring you the latest news, trending topics, and the most music to kickstart your day. From politics to entertainment, sports to lifestyle, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on our interactive segments, contests, and giveaways that will keep you engaged and entertained. Start your day with a smile. So, set your alarms and wake up to the best morning show in the city. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja's go-to station for news, entertainment, and more. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, 5 a.m. to 12 noon, Monday to Friday. Let's get this day started.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Super Citizen Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. This is the second half of the show where we normally open the phone lines. The lines are open now. You can call us on 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205. And you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of the two numbers. My gentlemen, my guests seated, Dr. Kasim Akinrite is here.
Morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Listeners, positive listeners, good morning.
Yes, Dr. Akinrite is the head of New Media, Voice of Nigeria, and former chairman, Lagos State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. Once again, Dr. Akinrite.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. And Mr. Salman Salami, Chief Operating Officer, Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning to you, the Grandmaster himself.
All right, gentlemen, yesterday I know that both of you were at the Yaradua Center where the labor movement celebrated one of its finest yesterday. And even before then, we had a teaser on our show before we left. And as expected, it was a very colorful event. And a lot of news vibes are still coming out from that. So that's where we start from today. The Nation newspaper is our guide. Tax laws effect on workers, Oshomole Ajero differ. Both of them former presidents of the Nigeria Labour Congress. Okay, let's have the story. Two famous labor leaders, Adams Oshomole and Joe Ajero, sharply differed on the issue yesterday. That's how does the tax reform regime affect the workers? Ajero, who is currently the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, said the tax laws, which took effect from January 1, proposed the taxation of minimum wage earners. However, Senator Oshomole, former NLC president, insisted that minimum wage earners are exempt from taxation. They spoke yesterday at the presentation of a book, Agonize, written by the first president of the NLC, Alhaji Hassan Somono, to mark his 85th birthday. Somono served as the pioneer president of the NLC between 1978 and 84, following the consolidation of the different labor movement. Gentlemen, you guys were eyewitnesses to this discussion, I guess. Let me start from Mr. Salami.
Well, if I had missed that event, by now I'll be signing my retirement letter. It was what it should be. It was a roll call of who is who in labor unionism. And it was, as expected, an avenue for a cross-fertilization of ideas. Ideas really clashed yesterday. And it was not devoid of drama too. Because the infant terrible, Adams Oshomole, made or lighten up the place with wisecracks. What of when he said that somebody told him that he was very short? Then he now told the man how bad that man was in using English. That the only thing was, I hope you have seen Ajero. And when Ajero came late, which he did quite right, in fact, I will not say here all that as well NLC president, and now he's a governor and a senator today. What he said, I will not say it. The only thing I will just say is that he held Ajero, and it was visible that he was showing us how tall Ajero was when you compare Ajero with himself. Now straight to the disagreement between Ajero and the present NLC president, Mr. Joe Ajero, and himself on this tax law. While Ajero held the view that the tax law was anti-workers. One, that your salary, which was not even enough take home, will be taxed, and some other things which he said about the Tax Reform Act. Senator Adams Oshiomhole debunked it. I must confess that I have not held a copy of the Tax Reform Act, so I will not express any opinion unless I want to borrow Reuben Abati's opinion on it. And of course, as a source, I will believe Reuben Abati if it has to do with intellectualism. Abati said it wasn't what every tax expert is now saying about it, that rather it protected the vulnerable and the dimensionally poor, because we have so many different terminologies in Nigeria today. I know about poverty. Dimensionally poor is what I just learned. So, let's put it in proper perspective. There is a need for Citizen FM, which we are planning to, and of course you know, to bring Mr. Taiwo Oyedele to this place so that we can hear from the horse's mouth.
All right, Dr. Akinriti.
Yeah, it was a good day yesterday. Celebration of excellence, celebration of a worthy cause, and celebration of patriotism. The labor centers across Africa, converged at Yadra Center yesterday. And all the activists were also there to lend support. And true to the call, it was a good outing for Pa Hassan Sumonu. Yeah, there are issues that are raised there. I think the tax law actually dominated discourse, apparently because of its introduction now. For me too, what I've seen, that tax law protected Nigerian workers from what I've seen and what I've read in terms of tax you are going to pay if you are not earning up to 1 million naira. I saw the tabulation and the taxes, but if you are earning between maybe let's just say 0 to 900,000 naira, you are not really affected. From the tabulation that I have seen that was sent to my office. But there are other issues which Ajay was trying to bring out. Look, in another breath, there's a way you are going to be taxed. You don't ordinarily, as civil servant, we pay our tax. But from that tabulation I've seen, it's not going to affect someone who is not earning up to 1 million naira ordinarily from the tabulation. So there seems to be quite a lot of confusion about it anyway. And I think we also need those who are for. That's why we said, look, a lot of advocacy will have to be done about the tax law, so that ordinary Nigerians can understand and appreciate in their own various languages and forms. There are different ways you can present the arguments to everyone. But the reality of the discussion yesterday is that yes, there are divergent views on the issue of tax law, and submission from both sides are quite germane. So we need the tax authorities to really put some of those things, put it to rest finally. Some of these hues and cries and some other issues, and then put it appropriately to the people so that people can understand. The way I understand it is what I'm saying now. It's different from the way Marcus Samuel understand it. The way he's also saying is that go ahead and say he has not seen the copy. But I have seen part of that when it was sent to my office. And the first thing I have to look at the tabulation of deduction of taxes for workers. So I can say specifically it doesn't affect anyone that's not earned up to 1 million naira.
Okay, gentlemen, I think for me, the narrative should shift from oh, the thing is affecting workers too. Number one, every country needs a tax system, no matter what you look at it. I know that just like Mr. Salami and I think a couple of weeks ago we spoke about this issue. This tax situation looks novel to us.
Yeah.
You understand? And you really don't blame a lot of Nigerians who are skeptical about it. Because apart from government workers or people who work in corporate environments, hardly would you see people normally go to the revenue service, get a form to fill out their tax papers. It's not something that, except you are compelled to, you have a contract with government and you are required to produce your tax payments, or you want to contest election, you are required to. Those are things that force people in Nigeria to even venture that way. Normal, that's part one. Number two, some other people who are skeptical about payment of taxes are like, oh, what is the money going to use for? The ones in the past, we've not seen a lot, this and that. Those are valid arguments on their own. But I think if the government says, let's even concede without agreeing, let's concede to that argument that, okay, this tax will affect workers. What exactly is wrong if workers pay tax normally? Let's leave the issue of the economy out. Let's leave the issue of it. Normally, if workers pay taxes, what is wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong. All over the world, workers pay. In fact, if you don't have income, if you don't work, you don't pay. Because there's nothing to tax. The taxes are based on income. But on this case, I've seen the tax laws. I did the 1 hour documentary on it. I've read it through and through. And just like Dr. Akinreti said, it's not even 900. In fact, it gets up to 1.5 million naira. When by the time they now have deductibles, because you pay, there is a difference between your income and taxable income. Because after your gross deductions on mortgage, on pensions, and by the time they deduct all those things, if your remaining money is still below 1.5 million naira, you don't have any business in payment.
It doesn't mean some people are scared because there are other sources of income for an average Nigerian. And that is the area that is part of their fear. But beyond that, that was I was quite specific. If labor is talking about a Nigerian worker, that's why they have to do the analysis. And that is a contention of sure money. But the other way around is that other sources in which you are going to tax the money that is coming into your account. That is the question. I
think the argument should move to how do we get governments to improve the economy, to bring
harmonization,
bring infrastructure in place so that when people work, when people start up, you have a small business, power is steady, transportation is okay. You won't have any business paying the small amount, less than 2-3% as taxes. That should be, it shouldn't be, even if you say workers don't pay tax, and the economy is very poor. At the end of the day, we continue to lose. At the end of the day, that argument should be, how do we put pressure on government to fix the economy, to run the economy well? Let's get infrastructure well and everything. And not that, oh no, workers should not pay. Workers pay taxes everywhere across the world. They should, and they should at the end of the day. But still staying with the situation, the events yesterday, former president, as usual, Olusegun Obasanjo was there, and is also hugging the headlines since yesterday. And this is how the Guardian newspaper posted the story. How I reformed labor to end CIA KGB influence in Nigeria. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo said that reforms introduced during his time as military head of state were designed to free Nigeria's labor movement from foreign influence at the height of the Cold War. Speaking at the celebration, he explained that rival labor organizations were then receiving fundings from the Soviet Union and the United States, that's from the KGB and the CIA. A situation, he said, undermined Nigeria's sovereignty. And there's a quote here: I needed a Nigerian labor union organized by Nigeria, controlled by Nigeria, financed by Nigeria. So I decided that there was going to be a labor union reform. And I think the man I put in charge was Justice Adebi. Hassan was one of those at the forefront asking, what do I know about the labor that I'm asking for reforms? What's my business? He added that the reforms led by Justice Adebi culminated in the creation of the NLC and the election of Somono as its first president, Dr. Akinriti?
Well, it was quite appropriate, and that's actually a fact. I also got a copy of the book yesterday, and I also have to. I flipped through some chapters, really, and then just to confirm the historical perspectives of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, which also Senator Adams Oshiomhole also reiterate why he was holding forth for him as the as the retiring chairman. Yes, for the event, which was quite okay. Yes, either we like it or not, history is right. Obasanjo was the one who gave that opportunity for the signing of NLC when there are so many labor unions, coming together. About 14 or 15 of them were struggling, and then they were getting fundings outside the country. So it was quite appropriate what President Obasanjo did in trying to ensure that yes, we own the union today. Nigerians are the ones, because if you don't pay your checkup dues, you're not a member of the NLC. And even as an affiliate, Nigerian Labour NUJ, we also take checkup dues for our members for us to run the union. So I just imagine the situation. It could have been extremely horrible. And you can see even the agitations, the fights over properties, over funds, in most of the unions today, well, because of checkup dues. And that's it. But one fact that that was clear from reading through the book, from part of the book, has to do with how does labor create wealth? And that brings me to the issue of the labor transport then. That was done during shop, or did not shop P, or something during Jonathan era. So what happened to all the labor buses? What happened to the labor housing scheme? So why is Nigerian workers still remain where it is? So those are the issues that Pastor Money raised in that book. That labor should also sit back and see that's what the title of that book was extremely apt. So what are the things we also need to do? How do we organize ourselves together so that everybody can breathe well? A Nigerian worker can be proud that yes, the labor unions create wealth for me. And there is an example of China, the China Labor Union, which Aregbesola also alluded to. So I think these are the things. I just want the labor union to go and sit back. Everyone wants to go and sit back. Read that book, digest it, and then pick out those good areas, things that Pastor Monu recommended for the progress of this country.
Mr. Salami, you know that a couple of times we've also been discussing in the newsroom about the labor movement of old and the current labor movement across board, and even up to student unionism. When we were in the university, the student union leaders were austere in their lifestyle. You did have them moving around in SUVs and everything. But flip side now, you see them, their lifestyle. Likewise, labor leaders across. We still have a few who are, passionate about this movement. Just like we talked about Dr. Dipo Fashino. We still have men like that in the labor. When you see them, that these men are committed totally
to look at how he looks. Oh my God!
And when you look at some of them who have given their all. All right, sir.
This is a very delicate one. You are throwing at me. Even realizing that we are on the 4th floor.
No, this has nothing to do with the NLC. It has nothing to do with the NLC as a body. We're talking about labor movement generally.
Well, if you want me to just dissect it, it is unfortunate that we are where we are today compared to what unionism, generally speaking, was in the days of yore. Come of it. It's a reflection of what is happening in the society today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even we have billionaire judges today. Student unionism that time. When you saw a student union that time, you will know they were really unionists and activists. And they were passionate about this. Look at what is happening today. The headquarters of NANS today, even if it's not in Abuja, most of the student union presidents today, they spend more time in Abuja than even on campuses. So what are they doing there? You see NANS 1, NANS 2,
different factions.
NANS 3. Now, what are we talking about? And when you see them on the road, it is clear that these guys are in affluence. I'm not saying that unionism means poverty. No. But what we are saying is this. Just as I've been saying that if you are educated, you may not be rich, but you cannot be poor. But if you are a unionist, you should not pursue money the way they are pursuing it now. Your interest should be the interest of the students. Now, don't let me veer away from the discussion.
Okay, just a moment, Mr. Salame. Let me just take this call. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think it dropped. You can continue, sir.
So, what am I saying? When you see NLC of today and you compare it with what was in the past, the difference is clear. And it should be, because you can't tell me what the issues are today, what the issues were then. So there is the, of course, but what we are still saying is this: there is the need for the union as a pressure group to concentrate more and be seen to be concentrating more on what affects the workers, and again from their ways of life. The Bible says, by their fruit
shall not see them.
I won't say more than that.
All right. For me, I think I was very elated yesterday when I saw the celebration of Pastor Muno. In his lifetime, very important, because normally we wait for someone to pass, then we say all the beautiful things and everything. But yesterday, in his lifetime, colleagues, people that he mentored over the years, people that he has impacted on their lives were around to I'm sure the man would have felt very, very satisfied. But I wish that is extended to a lot of other union members. You see a lot of others. It may not be at the level of the NLC president. Maybe different unions in the country that somebody lead with passion and everything. And you notice that the moment their tenure is over, maybe they are retired from service, give them 2-3 years, you see them, you don't recognize them again. And you begin to ask, what happened? Sometimes when others see people like that, they think twice. They get discouraged, and when they have the opportunity to serve, they decide to have their own pension while they are serving. You understand what I mean? Because they don't want to end up like the former SG, the former this, the former that, who would sometimes even feeding. You see them hanging around union buildings, practically becoming beggars. Dr. Akinriti.
Well, that's the saddest aspect of that thing. But everything has to do with the person. And it shows yesterday when the reviewer of the book, Bishop Hassan Kuka, was talking about the personality of Pa Hassan Sumon and his twin brothers. And there's a lot to learn from their discipline and their approach to life. Life of contentment, life of satisfaction, service to the people, even at their own detriment. Yeah, it still happens today. And, you know, I do a lot of inspiration from Pa Sumon when I led the NUJ. And you see, I saw money. I saw the opportunities to also betray the trust of the union of Michael, but I decided not to. And supposedly that was what actually cost me the second time. Because I couldn't just give out that funds freely for everybody to take at their own will. You know, I was Spartan, I was disciplined in using the union funds, which had been issue. I just free for all to take. And because I also had to question some other people who have misused that opportunity, I paid dearly for it. But the reality is, I don't have any regrets. I'm okay. I'm fine. You know, because I prepared for it. That if I have an opportunity to lead, I will also do as others have done. And that's exactly some of the things I was happy, elated been in that, hall yesterday, and I was happy with myself. Yes, what I did was actually right.
Right.
A good example is when Pastor Mono said he was lobbied to cancel the strike against Shagari, and Umaru Diko's, prodigy, this one prodigy was actually sent to him that, look, we have a shipload of rice at sea for you. Stop that NSC strike against President Shehu Shagari, and then you'll be home and dry. And he said, what are you talking about? And he said, no way, this will not happen. We are going ahead. And he picked a telephone call to call the police to arrest the man. Supposedly that these guys, to come and give him, to come and bait him with that. The second thing is about getting government appointments, which is also very instructive. And it's not an easy thing to do today anyway. That he was summoned. President Babangida wanted, the head of state, Babangida wanted to give him a ministerial appointment. He turned it down without even having a recourse to ask from his wife, or talk to his colleagues. That straight away said, no, sir, I can't get it because of the aftermath, because of what he had, because he opposed the policies of IBB. Headlong as a labor leader. So what will it be for him to now go back and take an appointment from somebody he has, obviously been taking his policies, tearing into shreds? That speaks to the integrity, to the honor, and the sense of sacrifice of Pastor Sumonu. And that is what labor leaders today should also uphold, as what I've also done when I had the opportunity.
Exactly. Gentlemen, let's move on to some other stories. Okay, but before then, you can still call us 0903 2229797 or 0818 2222205. Yesterday, a gentleman had this sad story. Bandit headsmen killed 9 farmers, National Park operatives in Oyo, Benue. And this is the story from The Guardian, the Vanguard newspaper. No fewer than 9 persons were killed by suspected bandits and herdsmen in Oyo and Benue states in the last 24 hours. The killing came as police foiled an attempted attack and planned kidnapping of children in Kasuwan Magani area of Kaduna State. 76 children were eventually rescued by the police, while 3 suspects were arrested. The attack on the National Park Service by suspected bandits led to the death of 4 personnel of the park, while several others sustained injuries. Mr. Salami, sad one there.
Just when we thought that we were seeing the end of this. Yes, you see, well, we cannot give up. And what I will still say is this, that security is everybody's business. The security agencies, our security agents, they are doing their best for now, but there's still the need for them to do more. And more than that, Lawrence, clearly now, security is everybody's business. It should not be left in the hands of the police, the army, the vigilantes, and the forest guards, and others. Why am I saying this? The bandits that we are talking about, the terrorists that we are talking about, the herdsmen that we are talking about, and even the so-called unknown gunmen, they are not ghosts. They are not ghosts. They are human beings. And in perpetrating this, they must have used some other people. What am I saying in effect? We should realize that it is an ill wind. What we are covering is an ill wind that at the end of the day, it won't blow anybody any good. So when we see something, when we see strange things, we should volunteer information. These are our security agencies. They are not magicians. they are not miracle workers. They work based on credible information. And this information is available. We are just hoarding it.
And Dr. Akinrunsi?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we'll still have to be talking about it, but it's going to be a recurring decimal all along because you see, the dimension of insecurity is taking so many forms that arguably one would not even expect. There's one can anticipate, but the other ones are just coming, just like a flash. And when it comes, what the impact. The diversity impact is what these guys are really after. According to the accounts of that story, those guys, came in from the border, from the Benin Republic border, and just moved down because the Oyo Park extends to some other part of Benin Republic, and these are where we have been having challenges. The flank, the Niger Republic flank, Cameroon Republic flank, and then Benin Republic flank. Chad. These are critical areas where, these guys is hit and run. Once they do everything, they just escape again back to the frontiers. And that's supposed to mean that we don't need to lower our guards. Our securities are doing tremendously. They're working. They are tirelessly, rescuing people, engaging these bandits and terrorists, in a gun battle, in a duel. We appreciate them for that. But what I think we also need to do is to use technology more. We have identified all these areas. We know them. There's nothing stopping us using drones to fly around these areas at a point in time, as a reconnaissance, and then we just come back and download all the information that we needed from that, and then know what we need to do at the appropriate time.
The information can even be downloaded
if we are still working, because getting credible intelligence from people at times, people are scared. The first thing that came to mind, where are the Amotekums in the Oyo Park? We should have noted that Oyo Park extends to Benin, so we should have deployed Amotekun to those, and then the forest guards that we have had now, we should have deployed them over there for them to be doing surveillance around the forest, until we have people that are mobile along this forest every night, 24/7. It will be very difficult to curb the activities of these terrorists and bandits.
And the key question is, even the forest guards, how well trained are
they? Killed.
How well
because these guys come with sophisticated weapons.
So we need that. And just like you said, and Mr. Salami also said about the bravery of our security men. You see, sometimes a lot of things happen that we don't know. Okay, look at this story. 76 children were rescued. If those children were carted away, that would have been the biggest news today. But because this one happened, painful as it is, during my days covering the defense sector, I know that for every one incident that happens that people know, 99 others have been thwarted by security agencies that people don't get to hear about or know about. It's a very delicate thing, and that's how the world is. Just one story will cast a doubt on everything you've done in the last couple of months and everything. So I think, just like you said, security and intelligence and technology should be used. We need to make sure that these identifiable flashpoints are really kept on the radar constantly, so that when they know, because most of them, when they know that the possibility of escape is very slim, they are going to think twice before they begin to do stuff like that. Gentlemen, let's look at this story. Court orders interim forfeiture of 57 properties linked to Malami. The Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday ordered the interim forfeiture of 57 properties allegedly linked to former Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and members of his family. The properties valued at 213 billion naira were ordered forfeited to the federal government after an application by the EFCC. Mr. Salami.
Well, I think the facts are coming out now. I want us to avoid some things. One of such things is this: collective ownership of thieves, alleged thieves. What do I mean by that? Let the discussion be straightforward and be robust. Because I've had a lot of things in the last few days about this issue. Why some people will say it's because it's not in PDP, it's not in APC, it's not in this, it's because it's a Northerner, it's because it's a Yoruba man, it's because it's a Muslim, it's because it's a Christian. Does Tivri has a tribe? Sleaze, does he know geography? The issues are this. Nobody is saying this man is guilty. No. I'm not saying he's innocent as well. But the facts are there. Properties. How did you come about these properties? Those are the issues. Let us situate it properly. And let us ask direct, intelligent, factual, and relevant questions. What has religion got to do with it? Which of the religions preach helping yourself to common till, as it were? Honestly, if we want to get out of this problem of corruption that has eaten deep into our fabric, we should avoid sentiments. We should avoid beer parlor discussion. We should not reduce issues to banality. Lawrence, let me just stop at this.
All right, that's okay with you. I'll tell you before we get.
Honestly, it's quite worrying. It's troubling. If someone has 56, houses, supposedly a public servant, allegedly anyway, because after 14 days, that is when the forfeiture will come into reality. And it also speaks to what we have also heard about Dazin and Isimadu. I just imagine, is it not for us just to eat, sleep, wake up and move on with life? When we have basics of we have all the basics of life with us, what else do we need? And when some people own 56 houses, these properties, 100 properties, and so on. The question, maybe because of my own Spartan life and my own upbringing, I just shudder at how would people manage such a thing, and how would they be accountable to the Almighty Allah on the day of judgment? Because if the sources you have used for those properties, you have deprived people, other people. It's the Commonwealth that look into. Look at the issue of late Alex Pade. Look at the properties that people are owning around. Honestly, I shudder about it. But let's wait it after, because court says after 14 days, anyone who think he owns that property aside from Malami should come forward and claim those properties. And so if after 14 days nothing happens, and rarely you can know that the property belongs to him, he's forfeited to the government. But what happens to those properties at the end of the day? Is it not going to be relooted? Is it not going to be reallocated to people, of questionable character? And so what we need to do, that we need to be practical about some of these things. All those properties that we have that are seized by government, let them, and an advertorial to be done. So properties, and people that they can just sell it off to people, and then that the money can come to cover the government, or turn it into for people who doesn't have maybe IDPs, those IDPs who are coming around together. They don't have the shelter. Run the shelter for them.
These are high network properties.
You don't know where. But there is an hotel in one of those. No, there is a very big, massive hotel in one of those properties. That should be comfortable for people to live in.
But the committee that will be in charge will have other ideas. They will have better use for that to turn a 5-star hotel into IDP. But gentlemen, I think the bigger question should be, what kind of a system do we have that will allow public officers have access? I'm not talking about this case alone now. I'm talking about with our experiences in the past.
Yes.
What are the processes? How do we have situations where public officers will have access to amass this kind of fraud? That means there's a problem with our system. Obviously.
It's a problem with us, not with our system. The system is fine. The laws are there. Everything there. You all know it. It's about person. We just discuss about person now. And I just give an example of myself. You just have to personally have a self-discipline and contentment to certain things in life. Once that is done, that's fine.
Lawrence, I still wonder why you are not a professor. Abstraction, system. The so-called system. Will it run itself? When you talk of system, you are talking of people. You are talking of human beings with mindset, with certain attitudes, with principles, with ways of doing things. Lawrence, Obama once came here and he said that it is better to build institutions and not strong individuals. I will leave it at that.
All right, gentlemen, we will also leave the show now because our time is well spent. Thank you so much, Dr. Akiriti, for your interventions. And also thank you, Mr. Salami, for your interventions. It's always a pleasure to have, especially both of you, at the same time in the studio. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
It's my pleasure.
All right, that's our package on the show today. The program returns tomorrow, 7 a.m., bright and early. My name is Lawrence Omoiti. Triple A is standing by.